Hi, I'm Francesca James, the founder of the Great British Entrepreneur Awards and Community. The coronavirus pandemic has caused chaos for many UK businesses, yet the crisis does seem to have brought out the raw entrepreneur in some business owners and leaders. In this series, we're shining a spotlight on and speaking to the entrepreneurs behind businesses who have adopted a plan B or changed their business by pivoting to models to either still serve their customers or help the country in an entirely different way. I'm really interested to hear about your business pre-pandemic. Obviously, we've just started doing a little bit of work together, so I broadly know what you do, but it would be good to know what that looked like at the beginning of this year.
Sure. So as a quick intro, we build personal brands for founders and CEOs. And so we're in charge of working with an individual and growing their influence online, particularly on social media. And pre-pandemic, everything was looking good. I was buzzing. I was in such a good place. I had 2 people that had agreed to join the team full-time, had a really solid infrastructure of creative freelancers. Everything felt like it was going to plan. And then obviously COVID hit, and I started getting calls from clients saying, look, we love what you do, but our revenue is about to plummet, and we're going to have to start to get realistic about our costs. And it's likely that we're going to have to put this on pause or end it completely. And that started to look like a trend that would continue. So pre-pandemic was great, but as things started to kind of really take off with COVID around the world, that's when things started to get tricky.
Okay, so what changes have you made to your business to cope with the restrictions and the reduction in revenue that the pandemic's brought about?
Sure. So, I mean, it's a funny one because it's mainly a mindset shift. I had a lot of conversations with entrepreneurs that I look up to, and the general sentiment that I found was that this is going to be here for a while. You will be stuck. Some clients will, have no choice but to stop working with you, whether it's permanently or temporarily. So it's up to you to shift your metrics for success. So stop thinking about growing the business over the next 3 months in terms of bringing on new clients and growing revenue, but shift those metrics to starting conversations now that in 10 months and 12 months time could actually, help you onboard new clients and grow the business from there. And what's really weird about that is because once I kind of understood that that was a strategy that I should follow, I started working a lot more on my own personal brand. I started doing a lot more contributor writing. And as a result, I've got a lot more inbound from companies that have actually fared quite well during the pandemic. So our revenue has more or less evened out, and it is back to where it was pre-pandemic, even though that wasn't the plan.
And do you think that there's anything that you've started doing now that you did as a result of the pandemic that you think will be a sort of continual thread and part of your business going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, video calls is a perfect example. This works so well. It's easy, it's simple, and it saves a ton of time. But before this, I always thought that I would need to meet with clients face to face, whether it was to, review a campaign, review a month of our analytics, or to have a content session when we, help decide what the next month of content is going to look like. But in reality, it's just not necessary. It can be done perfectly over a Zoom call. So looking forward, I think there's going to be a lot more video calls, probably a lot more flexible working as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something that we're hearing from all entrepreneurs. I think that although video calls have been around for a significant amount of time, there was a reluctance to sort of really embrace it, and we felt like we really needed that face-to-face until we're backed in a corner when actually this is now the new face-to-face, and it works pretty well. So yeah, in total agreement with you there. So would you say that you're optimistic about the future?
Definitely. I think what's happened, especially in the personal branding space, is that there have been some leaders who have been super vocal about what's going on in the world around them, about how the livelihoods of society in general, but also their team, have been impacted. And I think those people have been able to elevate themselves as leaders and really show that they have empathy, they care about people, and that there's a wider passion and purpose behind their business, rather than kind of the typical business jargon. And then others have chosen to be kind of quiet and just let this pass. And I think those who have been loud about it have earned a lot of respect. And based on the feedback that they've been getting during this period of time, but how they've communicated to their team and to the wider public, I think that's instilled a lot of confidence in them that working on their personal brand and continuing to invest time and energy into kind of crafting their comms perfectly is a good thing to do moving forward.
Absolutely. Well, look, it certainly sounds like you're very optimistic, and we've thoroughly enjoyed working with you so far. Thank you so much, Joe.